Shh, spoilers. I probably won't be spoiling anything, but I had to make the reference. Hello and welcome back to Madmen with a Box. I'm one of the Madmen, Ozchris. I'm here to talk about The Diary of Riversong, Series 1, which came out on the 25th of December 2015. Merry Christmas! I mean, by this time, it's been, I don't know, when this video comes out, Christmas has been, was like a month ago. But, or maybe, I might be a bit late, maybe I'm a bit early, getting ready for Christmas 2022, yeah. Given how fast time goes, who knows? Who knows? But I'm here to talk about The Diary of Riversong. I love Riversong. I love the concept of Riversong. Like the time traveler's wife meeting her husband out of sync. He knows that she is destined to die, and they're just filling in the gaps of like their diary, until the inevitable day, which we do see in a very sad, heartwarming story. But when she's not meeting the Doctor, she has her own adventures, and this is what I'm here to talk about. And her first story really delves into what she is. No, not a psychopath, she's not that anymore. No, not really being the Doctor's wife. We'll get to that eventually. No, being an archaeologist.
Unsatisfactory husbands.
The Boundless Sea by Jenny T. Colgan. So Riversong is sent to investigate a 3,000-year-old tomb in Lower Mesopotamia. However, this tomb's occupant is, well, not the usual state a body would be in a tomb. It's quite alive, being sustained by these salt-thirsty drones, and it's wants to exact its revenge. What's its revenge? Well, it was unfortunately in a culture where if the king, the husband, dies, the queen dies with him. She gets buried alongside him. Till death do us part, I guess. So, this story was fine. It suffers the same problem that I had with Missy Series 1, where it is a weak start. I didn't particularly feel engaged at all with this story. Overall with like this series, usually when I listen to any of the Big Finish stuff, I listen to it in if I can, in one go. I just want to listen to it one after the other. Riversong's one, I kind of listened in parts. I listened to Boundless Sea, and then a couple of days later the next story, and then a couple of days later the last two stories. I know, but with this one I just didn't feel engaged. I didn't feel like, I just want to get, let's get on to the next wacky adventure, hooray. I know, it just there wasn't really anything with this story that felt engaging, that really hooked me in. It's okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, is there an actual twist with these aliens? No, what is it? I think the only thing that really piqued my interest is the character of Bertie Potts, because he factors in to the later stories, particularly the second and the third stories. Apart from that, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine, I guess. Just Riversong doing Riversong stuff. That's all I can really say. I don't have much to say about Boundless Sea. 6 out of 10, an above average story. Unfortunately, a weak start. But it does get a little bit better. And what better way to pique someone's interest than with a party?
Every bit as good as the first.
I went to a Marvellous party by Justin Richards. Riversong has been invited to a very particular party. A party held by the so-called rulers of the universe. Not to be confused with the masters of the universe, He-Man and all that. No, they are the rulers of the universe. They manipulate civilizations, whatnot, for their own gains. But that's not the important part here. There is a murder on the party ship, and Riversong is sent to investigate it. This story, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better than the previous one. We get a kind of explanation. Not an explanation. We get a reintroduction of Birdie, considering what happens to him in the first story. His role in events that essentially span out throughout this series. But apart from that, the whole murder mystery thing, it's fine. It's a little... I was a bit more engaged with this story compared to Boundless Sea, but I still had the kind of same feeling with the first one. It was just a fine episode. It was a fine story. So I wouldn't... even though I was a bit more intrigued with this episode, I was a bit more engaged. I would say I wouldn't bump up the rating a bit too much. So 6.5 out of 10. But this is when we really get into gears. We're really getting into the real good stuff. Where Riversong is reunited with her husband. Kind of.
I love that just for once I know more than you.
Signs by James Goss. Riversong is reunited with the Doctor, her husband. But it's a different Doctor. He's regenerated. Apparently, he has a different face. He no longer has the TARDIS. Something terrible has happened. He has his own ship. Even worse, Riversong is now suddenly dying. Yeah, Riversong is dying. Not in the library. She's dying while trying to track the trail of the mysterious planet-killing spore ships. Spore ships that appear, destroy whole civilizations, then leave. She wants to figure out the mystery of these spore ships, try to stop them before she dies, much to the Doctor or Mr. Song wanting her to rest to ease her eventual passing. Now, this was interesting because of the whole the Doctor it's not even that much of a spoiler. It's not really the Doctor. It's someone pretending to be him, just saying the right words, having read bits and pieces of River's diary, but then being vague about stuff that she hasn't done. He's like, okay, she's not gonna, if it's not in her book, it hasn't happened to her, so if I'm gonna be vague about it, it's definitely I can definitely pass off that I'm the Doctor. But no, I found this story very interesting. The whole mystery of the spore ships, like the whole mystery of what's going on with River when she's dying. That was very intriguing. So I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. This was a good story, which leads to our finale, Riversong versus the Rulers of the Universe, featuring a very special guest.
I got your invitation. I'm not too late, or perhaps I'm too early.
The Rulers of the Universe by Matt Fitton. So, the Rulers of the Universe, back in the second story, they wanted Riversong to be part of their Suicide Squad, their Justice League, their Super Friends. But because of the events of what happened in the second story, Riversong was not the perfect fit. So who better than to replace Riversong than, well, her husband. Her actual, husband this time. Well, it's the same, it's her husband, but an earlier version of him. The 8th Doctor is invited to join the Rulers of the Universe. But he's been caught in the middle of what's going on with the spore ships and the owners, the race that created the spore ships, and Riversong has to do her best to try and prevent his untimely death. All the while trying to hide who she is, considering he does not know who she is, since we only know pretty much only 10, 11, 12 know Riversong. I really like this story as well. I noticed, like, anytime it has to do with the Doctor, I think I found the story a bit more interesting, because of the dynamic between River Song and the Doctor, like their history, like what she means to him, what he means to her, all of that, the whole like I can't interfere with his past, considering this is a Doctor that doesn't know her, so she can't give away her identity, so she lies to him, she goes by an alias when she's talking to the 8th Doctor. I find that more interesting. I feel like River Song, these last two stories show that I think River Song works best when she's playing off the Doctor. It's kind of like, it's like a Joker Harley Quinn situation. No, sometimes Harley Quinn can work by herself, but she works better when she's playing off someone, either it be Poison Ivy or being the most obvious choice, the Joker. I feel like that's kind of the same with River Song and the Doctor. River Song, she's fine by herself, but I think she works better when she's playing off the Doctor. But I really like this story. This was technically my first outing hearing the 8th Doctor in Big Finish. I do have some of his stories, but this is the first time hearing him. Good. I can't wait to actually delve into his actual like proper stories by himself. So it's nice to hear the 8th Doctor. Overall, I like the story. I would give it a 7 out of 10. So that is it for my talk, my review, whatever, of Diary of River Song Series 1. Thank you all for watching. Check out my previous reviews, check out the previous videos with the other Madmen, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.